this episode, we invite Kerry Caron to join us and play a few tunes along with one of his favorite covers. He'll also talk about his musical beginnings, working 21 stories in the air, and the importance of a supportive community in the local music scene. So sit back, sip your poison, and enjoy the ride. I'm Kalen Capson, and these are the Pagan Place Sessions. What do you love about music?
What I love about music, what I have to say hands down what I love about music is the fact that it connects people. The same song can connect people from any different walk of life at all, from any culture, any country, any place at all. There can be this one particular tune that everybody loves, and it could be the most generic song, but people can settle their differences over tunes like that, right? They have that one common ground to hold on to, right? So maybe if he likes the same songs, well, maybe, this person likes a couple more of the same things I like. And that's pretty much what I love about music, among a whole bunch of other things, of course. But I mean, it's just the camaraderie that comes with it. It's the fact of just drawing people together and bringing positivity into a place where you wouldn't often see it.
Along those lines, is that it's something that's it's a binding factor?
Well, it is, too. I mean, it makes a person that would otherwise feel completely alone, like they have other people, right? Even connection through a song, like a song can speak to a person, it can save a person. And that's, I don't know, I don't want to get too profound with it, but that's pretty much the effect that it has on me. And in many times that I found, like when I was in this rough stage of my life, I'd found a song that I completely loved and completely just turned my perspective around on things, and then come to find other people that enjoy the song for the very same reason.
How long have you been playing for?
I've been playing for a solid 12 years now, I'd say, but it's been on and off since I was a kid. I grew up in a family that had a lot of music. There weren't very musicians in my family at the time. It was just my grandfather and then myself. He was the one that taught me how to play. So he's the first one that put a guitar in my hands, and I probably would have been at a very young age, and then it was just got to that age where I was in a bit of a rebellious stage, and it just became more like a chore than anything, right? And the more it seemed like I was forced towards something, the more I'd want to gravitate going against it. So I sat it down for a little bit, a couple of years, I'd say, and then when I went off to college, when I was just about 20, I picked it up again, took it with me, with the chords that he taught me and a couple of songs that he taught me, and I just started meeting like-minded musicians here, and then it just started to grow from there.
At what point did you start writing your own?
I would have really started my own writing when I was living in Calgary, and this would have been in 2006. I'd moved there. I'd met a bunch of East Coasters, a lot of which were these guys from my hometown, actually. We became roommates. We became very good friends, even though there was a bit of an age gap when we were living home. And one of them was a musician. And at the time, we were both kind of getting into it. We were both experimenting with our own writing, but kind of too shy to really draw it out or, demonstrate in front of anybody. So we started playing songs for each other, and then we started frigging around and helping each other. We were doing co-writing and this and that, and then we actually started writing our own songs, and we were kind of feeding off our own energy on that. So it just was kind of like a snowball effect. Once it started rolling, we actually started writing, and just the frigging around that we did on paper and just on the guitars, and that late night, it started turning into songs.
What about playing in front of other people?
Well, that was probably the biggest block to prevent me from getting out before I have now, because I've only been really performing in the past year. And that wasn't without a lot of support in the local music scene here. I started playing open mics at Bourbon Quarter. It was still Bourbon Quarter, which is now the Cask and Kettle. And that's where I ran into some pretty great musicians, which were very like-minded like myself, which you had them in here before, Austin, Frank, guys like that, right, which were really great guys. And I was very nervous about it going up because it was a big step for me, because I tend to suffer from a bit of anxiety as well, right? So actually getting out in the social scene is just, it's almost beyond my scope. Anyway, I met these guys, and they were very supportive. And they just kind of helped push me get along, right? Just give me a little bit of a gentle nudge to keep going. And it started picking up from there, and people were saying, well, Jesus, I'd played a party or I'd played an open mic. So would you play anywhere else? I'd say, well, no, I don't. Well, why not? And it was just a completely new concept to me, because I'm pretty humble about it. I'm just a guy that likes to play music and likes to sing, and it seems to please people and make people happy. And in the end, I like making people happy. I like people seeing a good time. That's actually how it started, and this is how it's growing.
It's good to have that encouragement when you start out.
It's completely necessary, really, because really, I mean, doing it completely on your own. It was the first open mic that I did, actually, was not at the Bourbon Quarter, but it was at Cougars, which is now McGill's. And I had no support. All my friends at the time, I was trying to get people to come out. It's like, would you just come out and have a beer and just sit there and watch me and just be there around me, right? So I have some kind of familiarity. Anyway, we were working conflicting schedules, so anytime I was available to go out, nobody else was. So after one night of a lot of deliberating and a lot of fighting myself, I said, that's it, you're going to do it. So I went out and I landed there and I met Ryan Gautreau. And I probably sat there for a good hour and a half to 2 hours at the bar, just mercilessly pouring drinks down my throat, trying to shake my nerves. And it was a complete disaster. But despite that, as tipsy as I was and as unprofessional as it seemed and as nervous as I was, the guys I met there were still very supportive. It's like, just try this and try that next time, and you got past this first hump. This is the worst, so you should be able to carry on a little bit better from now.
I've played there a few times myself, and they were always very welcoming, very encouraging. It's really good, because I was talking to Austin about it, the similar sort of thing for him getting up, and he was saying something about when you're starting out, if you get shut down for something, it's a really big shot to your esteem, kicks down your emotion. So it's really good to have supportive, like, open mics and stuff like that.
Well, it is, because 10 good reviews and 20 great supporting comments can completely be destroyed by one negative comment, right?
Yeah.
It can really affect somebody's confidence or something like that, especially when you're putting yourself out there and doing your own original stuff, especially.
Yeah.
That's you feel like you're really sweating under the lights kind of thing.
And that's probably why a lot of musicians just don't get over that hump. People that had a lot of potential or could have really pushed it, they maybe just didn't have that little bit of support at the beginning, so they
I agree with you there.
Just fell off the scene.
That would have a lot to do with it, right? The lack of confidence is the number one enemy, getting up on a stage and playing.
Yeah.
Let alone trying to maintain a stage presence or anything like that, right? But anything that I learned is I really carry myself on a stage no different than I would at a kitchen party, because that's exactly what I'm trying to bring to the audience, just a feeling of being home, feeling a little taste of the past kind of thing, which is why I chose to play the music that I play. Well, I'm 21 stories working up in that old hair. The sun's a beating on my brow, there's dust all in my hair. And in my realm of untrained thought, that question somewhere lies. Oh, what the hell am I doing? 21 stories in the sky. Well, I have to make an honest buck, the days of breaking laws are gone. But that doesn't seem to be justified when I strap my harness on. I swing myself off that old roof, I shimmy onto the stage. Oh, the crazy things I have to do to make an honest wage. Because I'm 21 stories working up in that old air. The sun's a beating on my brow, there's dust all in my hair. And in my realm of untrained thought, that question somewhere lies. So what the hell am I doing? 21 stories in the sky. 21 stories in that sky, I often stop and wonder why. Oh, what the hell am I doing? 21 stories in that sky. Now we're swinging back and forth, that old wind's blowing hard, and I can hear no other sound but the pounding of my heart. Will I fall off this crazy rig? Will the harness break my fall? Or will that awful impact make me hear the angels call? Because I'm 21 stories working up in that old air. The sun's beating on my brow, there's dust all in my hair. And in my realm of untrained thought, that question somewhere lies. Oh, what the hell am I doing? 21 stories in that sky. 21 stories in the sky, I often stop and wonder why. What the hell am I doing? 21 stories in that sky. Not the heights it's falling, Lord, that really is my qualm. I don't want to wind up all spread out on someone's lawn. So now I'm gonna end my tune out on a finer note. Just the thought of going back up there puts a lump up in my throat, because I'm 21 stories working up in that old air. The sun's a beating on my brow, there's dust all in my hair, and in my realm of untrained thought that question somewhere lies. So what the hell am I doing 21 stories in the sky? In the sky.
Curious, what influences did you have, especially for the first song in particular I was listening to? It reminds me a lot of like an old Woody Guthrie sort of working man feel, that old folk sort of imagery.
Well, that song actually was based completely on fact, and I grew up with a real folk and an old country background in my house that I grew up in. So it was a lot of Johnny Cash, a lot of Willie Nelson, George Jones, Stompin' Tom, to a lesser extent Bob Dylan, but it was still present. So I guess a little bit of that kind of rubbed off. My grandfather was a rhythm player as well. So that kind of mood to the music was kicked off by that. That was a style that I was kind of born into, that I really embraced. And the song itself, I was working for a company in Calgary at the time. It was on a 21-story building. And what I was doing was deck restoration. And it involved a lot of grinding of concrete, a lot of hot stuff. And this was in the middle of July, mind you. So I was just this young 20-something guy from the East Coast trying to make his way, like the same story of anyone else that tried to make a go out there from here. And I couldn't get over it. Like, the hometown I came from, we had a building with one elevator in it, and it was 6 stories high, and that was a big thing. So here I am, sitting on this deck in the middle of summertime, and I've got concrete dust in my hair, and I'm sweating, and I'm filthy, and I've got a respirator on. I rip it off, and I'm looking over this river, and I said, what the hell am I doing 21 stories in the sky? And then after a couple of late night jams, I decided to write a song about it, which was more or less intended to be a bit of a spoof, really. And I played it at a party one night, and people just were starting to love it, right? Because it really gave an old feel to it. And I guess the biggest compliment I could get when it comes to my writing is when someone approaches me and says, that was a good tune, who wrote that? Well, I did. And then to have them not believe you and have to explain it, right? And that's a really humbling feeling, and it really feels like I'm getting my point across to what I'm trying to do with it.
That's what I said. It brought me back to the old Woody Guthrie folk sort of straight up working man song kind of thing.
And that's the thing, these working men, they still exist. You know, even up into the 2000s, we could still be writing songs like that. It don't always have to be about whatever's being written about now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. What modern influences do you have on your music? Things you've encountered, not so much from when you were younger, but last 15, 20 years.
Oh, geez, modern influences now.
Is that a modern influence? 20 years? Can I say that?
I think we could count it, yeah. As far as modern music influences, geez, now that's a broad question, right? But I mean, like, I think more or less it's just seeing local music taking off, which is kind of my inspiration, right? Slow Coaster, Jimmy Swift Band, stuff like that. Like, my taste in music is fairly broad, from Anne Marie to Rage Against the Machine, right? Yeah. So anything can pop up in that playlist of mine. But I mean, as far as modern music that really got me thinking was these mostly independent progressive bluegrass bands and progressive folk that come out, like the Punch Brothers or other jazzy sounding bands like Lake Street Dive. It was a resurgence of instruments that weren't corrupted by machinery, that weren't cleaned up so much that you couldn't tell that you could see an obvious difference between studio and live performance. Like, the same kind of bands would play, they would sound the same live as they would in a studio. So any kind of music like that, CBC's been a huge influence on music. Anything that they play on the top list on CBC Music on CBC Radio is normally what I care to listen to.
Yeah, they usually do have a lot of good. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, they do. They seem to anyway. They seem to be one of the last music stations to do. Yeah. Instead of playing just the same generic stuff all the time, right? They're actually breathing at least a bit of new life into it. I hear the crying of the hungry
destructive power prevailing. I hear fools falsely hailing to the crooked wits of tyrants when they call. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. I hear the sound of tearing pages and the roar of burning paper. All their crimes and acquisition turn to air and ash and vapor, and the rattle of the shackle far beyond emancipators, and the lowliest who gather in their stalls. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. You sit and whistle Dixie with your money and your power. I can hear the flowers are growing in the rubble of the towers. I hear leaders quit their lying, I hear babies quit their crying, I hear soldiers quit their dying, one and all. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. I hear the tender words from Zion, I hear Noah's waterfall, hear the gentle lamb of Judah sleeping at the feet of Buddha, and the prophet from Elijah to the old Poewawaka take their places at the table when they're called. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all.
That's actually one of my favorite covers to play, because in my family, when we do get together, and the musicians that do play, they all kind of have their song that they cover. And it's, you know, they're the only ones that can cover the song, the only ones that can play it, kind of thing, right? It's almost sacrilege to try and cover the cover that they covered. So I picked I Hear Them All because it was an older sound, and it's real popular among the folk element, at least I think it is. And it's just, it reminds me a lot of my own anxiety, really, where he's saying in the song, I hear them all. He's stating in the verses all these negative things. I hear crying of children. I hear books burning. It's too much input of negativity, which is kind of what results in symptoms of anxiety, really. But in the end, it shows that even though you can hear them all, that he's still pulling out bits of positivity. You still see people that come from different cultures, different walks of life, still getting together and harmonizing and still being together despite all this bad going on. So I guess it's really, I play this cover just because I find, like, when I get anxious, I have all this input coming in and I've got no control, and I'm just kind of grasping at straws to pull positivity out of it. And I find that song identifies with that quite well. If you look deep enough into it anyway.
Yeah, I do like that song a lot.
And it goes back to me writing my songs to kind of give a shout out to show people that they're not alone either, right? So I wrote Ain't Always Smiling with a broken heart, but the best intentions. And it was more or less a cry out to see if anybody listened to the song, that if they could identify it. And by people identifying with it, that would just kind of be reassurance to me that, well, at least I'm not the only one that thinks this. At least I'm not the only one that feels this way.
How long ago did you write it?
I wrote that one when I first moved back to St. John, which would have been in 2009.
Yeah.
So 2010, I probably would have had it fully written and arranged.
If you could say something to, well, just anybody listening or anybody that is interested in getting out there a little more musically or even artistically, it doesn't even need to be musically, it's kind of goes in the same vein, what would you say to them?
I tell them, as hard as it is, go for it. Take that first plunge and do it. Because the only thing stopping you is fear your own failure. And once you get past that hump and once you get out there and show people who you are and what you can do, you're going to be surprised to find what kind of overwhelming support you're going to get and how many like-minded individuals like you there are out there.
That's why open mic is good, because it gives people that opening to get out. You only have that one night a week to really just play guitar and just take advantage of it, if that, or every couple of weeks, but it's there when you got the time.
Well, exactly, too, and sometimes all it takes, like in my case, was that one night, was just to get out there and do it, and then that's basically what started it, right? It started giving me more confidence to want to come around more and thus do more playing. So the more I play, the more confident I get. The more confident I get, the more I'm inclined to write, and the more I'm inclined to put more heart into my writing. Not like I don't put any heart into it already, but I'd just like to say thanks to everyone who's been supporting me and that helped me work up to get to this point right now, and the people that are going to be there to help me get through and push it as far as I can go with this, because anybody that knows me, this is something that I love, and this is a genuine thing that I want to pursue, and I hope I can do that.
And it's the confidence thing, like you said. It's building that confidence to be able to push yourself to do it a little bit more and more and more. And
I don't plan on giving up anytime soon. I go through lulls, but this isn't something that's going to go away. This is a part of me now, and this is something that I want to take as far as I can. So,
well, thanks for coming on, man.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Cheers.
Up one morning and I couldn't move, laying here entranced by sweet thoughts of you. Though my hands won't stop shaking, my mind's just erasing. I reach for my cigarettes, what more could I do? Oh, I said, these Irish eyes, they ain't always smiling, only when they gaze upon you. Oh, I said, these Irish eyes, they're deeper than oceans, but still much too dry to shed any tears. Any tears. Any tears. Have you ever wondered if you walked alone like the last living soldier in a torn battle zone? Have you ever felt like you're one of a kind, or like you have no equal to walk by your side? Oh, I said, these Irish eyes, they ain't always smiling, only when they gaze upon you. Oh, I said, these Irish eyes, they're deeper than oceans, but still much too dry to shed any tears. Any tears. Any Well, I'm a hard-looking cover, but flip through my pages, you'll find the story is not what it seems. Though my hands feel so rough, so soft is my touch, could you ever have thought that I'd turn out this way? Oh, I said, these Irish eyes, they ain't always smiling, only when they gaze upon you. Oh, I said, these Irish eyes, they're deeper than oceans, but still much too dry to shed any tears. Any tears. Any tears. Well, now that you know me, would you choose to stay? Seems like we make a fine pair anyway. I'll smoke my last cigarette, crush out the butt, and lay down my head and become lost in my own thoughts. So I said, these Irish eyes, they ain't always smiling, only when they gaze upon you. Oh, I said, these Irish eyes, they're deeper than oceans, but still much too dry to shed.